because I'd seen a lot of people, especially in Rockford, everybody's trying to hustle, everyone's trying to do something, but they don't do it right.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like scamming people and like trying to.
Yeah, good old Chicago.
Yeah, exactly. Rockford's like a mini Chicago.
Yeah,
you know?
Chicago. Come check this out.
Yeah. So.
What up, everybody? Another episode of Adversity Kings. We've got my boy here, Ryan. How do we pronounce the last?
Hernandez.
Let's go. How you doing today?
I'm good, man.
Good. Let's go. Then we got my business partner and my co-host, Mr. David Wang.
What up, Ryan?
What up? Let's go. Let's jump right in. So, Ryan, what do you do?
I do marketing. I have a marketing agency. I've
Yeah.
been doing it for like 10 years, but
Sweet.
the agency I just started.
Okay, cool.
like a
How old are
year and a
you?
half. 29.
29 years old?
29 now.
Dope, dude. So, where'd you grow up?
I'm actually from Rockford, Illinois.
Okay. Sweet.
Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not too familiar with Illinois. I've only been here like 3 years.
Oh, for real?
But yeah, Dave's been here for a while. Like
Yeah.
100 years.
Rockford.
I do.
Yeah.
So, and then you live out here now?
Yeah, I moved to Chicago in 2013, and I just stayed here.
Okay.
Went to school here.
Where'd
and
you
just
go?
Stayed after. Went to UIC.
Okay. In the city? Circle?
Yeah.
Okay.
Still live there. Yeah.
Okay.
Still
Sweet.
same area.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, do you have an
Little
office?
dangerous over there.
I have an office on what used to be called the Hancock
Yeah.
Tower, but I hardly ever use it. It's just
Okay.
the name. You know, we
Okay.
just use it for the address.
Yeah.
It's a nice
Yeah.
building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go. Sweet. So, what was growing up for you like?
Growing up was it was okay. I think my parents did everything they could to like supply me with everything that we needed, obviously as a kid.
Yeah.
But grew up on the west side of Rockford, and that was not a nice side. And after, I think when I was like 10, we actually moved to Mexico for 2 years. Because a lot of my mom's side of the family was over there. And when we went out there, we were coming with dollars. And so even though my parents were making like a lot of money here, out there it was like 10 times, So it's
Yeah.
like, peso to the dollar at that time was like 20 pesos to a dollar. So we were living good for like a year out there. But then the jobs out there pay basically the equivalent of, if you make $5 here, you make 5 pesos over there doing the same stuff.
Yeah.
So that wasn't sustainable. So after a year, we moved back here and basically started again from nothing. Moved back into the west side of Rockford, into my grandma's house. And then from there, we just kind of like, my parents started building back up. My dad used to work at, before we left, he used to work at a hydraulics company.
Okay.
And then obviously coming back, we had nothing again, no house, because we had sold the house too either. So luckily he started to get into like the mail, USPS.
Yeah.
And that whole process took like, I don't know, like 5 years for him to actually get hired in.
Yeah.
Because you start off as a temp and then you kind of work your way up. And yeah, thankfully by the time I was in right around like high school, I would say. So I moved back here, I think I was like 12. So I was out there for 2 years. When I was like 14 or 15, then we moved to like the nice part of town, the east side.
Freeport.
Well, not still in Rockford, but east
Still
side of
Rockford,
Rockford.
yeah.
Kind of by Jefferson High School, if you know where that's at. But that kind of like started up us as a family, like growing, being better. And like now, obviously, my dad's been in the mail for years. My mom's always been a school teacher's assistant. Now she's a secretary. And obviously, like me, having made money now, helping them out and stuff like that, that kind of all worked out. And my brother also, he's an engineer now, so they did a pretty good job with us. I think.
Who were you closest to growing up?
From my parents?
Family, just in general. Was there somebody really close that kind of like, you know what I mean, that just had a big influence on you?
I think my dad probably. My dad had a very strong work ethic. He's a hard ass for sure, right? Like growing up, it was he was always like laying down the law, right? But I appreciated that.
Did you appreciate it then, or you appreciated it later?
Appreciate it now for sure.
Yeah.
At that time, I was like, "Fuck, this is tough." But it was just it was a mix with both of my parents because my dad was again like very strict, very like hard. And then my mom was, obviously like more on the softer side, more just like understanding and stuff like that. But even when I first came to Chicago, I always wanted to be an architect, right? All my life I was like looking into drafting, design and stuff like that. And then I got accepted into UIC for architecture. And, my parents were all excited. And then after, what was it, like probably like a month and a half in architecture school, I was like, nah, this isn't for me. It's too many hours, too much time, and plus the additional time that it would take to get licensed and all that stuff.
Get your AIA.
Yeah,
My
exactly.
brother-in-law's an architect, and my sister went to UIC actually. She was going to be an ophthalmologist. So, and even back then it was a little crazy because the campus is fine, but you go anywhere around it.
I was picky, dude.
Heck yeah, man.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, so I transferred out of architecture
Yeah.
very quickly. And when I transferred, it was actually my mom that was like super doubtful. She was like, "Oh my God, what are you doing?" Because I switched to design, to graphic design.
State of UIC.
Yeah, stayed at USC, but I
Okay.
still wanted to work with designing on computers and making cool shit.
I just connected you with my PR guy because I just texted him. I was like, if you don't get this panel up in like 2 seconds, I'm having this other
You're
PR. But
replaced.
hopefully you guys can connect and
Yeah.
give one another tips and everything like that. So, and hopefully you like one another. My boy, we grew up together, and he's kind of nuts. So
For sure.
But that leads me into my next topic. I always get curious. I like to figure out people's lives, where you're from, who influenced you, who negatively influenced you. Like, let's go down that path. Like, there's always an angel, but then there's always a devil. Somebody that just motivated you to want to go prove them wrong. Was there anybody like Patch David always says, choose your enemies wisely, because you're always going to have enemies. Just most don't choose them wisely. So like, who were the enemies for you?
It's a good question. I think it's like twofold. So
And don't name drop.
yeah. Partially it's wanting to prove my family wrong, that thought that the move out of architecture was a bad move. And
Yeah,
like,
especially because what are you Spanish and in America?
Yeah, Mexican American.
Mexican American.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I dated a girl from Spain, and she would always get mad if I like mixed up Mexican, Spanish,
Yeah,
because I would
especially
just
the Spanish people there.
yeah. She was kind of a
'Cause
little
they're
aggressive with that.
technically European.
Yeah,
We're, like, on
yeah,
this
she's a
side.
little aggressive with that. But yeah, no. So with that being said, I've noticed with just immigrants in general, like the traditional route or no route. You know what I mean? Like you're going to college, dog.
Yeah.
And
for
so
sure.
like when you broke out of that, so wanting to prove the family wrong, that was a big motivator.
Yeah,
When
for
you started
sure.
really pumping money and like just having that sustainability, how'd that feel?
I felt good because it proved it to myself, because
Yeah.
partially it's like, your parents are telling you this and you're just like, maybe they're right. Maybe this was the wrong move
Yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever. But after you start getting, some consistent income and growing your, across your career,
Yeah.
just growing through it, it feels very good. And, even before I went independent to launch the agency, I was making good money. So I had to turn down a lot of money, and that felt crazy too. 'Cause
Yeah.
it was just like, okay,
Yeah, yeah.
now I'm finally making 6 figures. Doing good. I got
When you were working for somebody, so you
Yeah.
had gotten up to a point where you were making
Yeah.
6 figures, okay?
yeah, exactly, and it's thankfully it scaled up pretty quick because like right out of college, and college basically was for my parents, right? Like,
Yeah.
I never thought of like, I got to go there, because I'd seen a lot of people, especially in Rockford. Everybody's trying to hustle. Everyone's trying to do something, but they don't do it right.
Yeah.
It's just like scamming people and like trying to
Yeah, you good old Chicago.
Yeah, exactly. Rockford's like a mini Chicago.
Yeah,
so-
Chicago. Come check this out.
yeah. So after that, we got into just like a pretty quick trajectory, honestly, in my career because I was lucky enough to get into like leadership positions, being a marketing director, being a CMO, and stuff like that, and turning all that away to kind of like go independent and being like I can sell this to more people.
Do you have a business partner or you went solo?
I'm basically solo, but I do have like 2 minority partners that just handle like our finances and operations. So
And who sells for you?
I do the selling, and then we have a small. We got like 2 sales guys that
Okay.
kind of book appointments for me, but I'm the closer basically because I know the most. And the agency itself is a full service agency, so it's not that it's hard to get somebody to my level of understanding and selling it. But obviously, like as the owner, no one's going to sell it as well as I do. But at that same time, it's still getting to a point where, all right, I got to have a go-to guy that's going to be my closer once we get busy enough where there's not enough time for me to take on all the calls. So besides that, it's just been mostly just like just like how we met. It's very much just like
Word of mouth.
connecting people, yeah. And we do
Yeah.
advertise, we do promotions and things like that.
Word of
But
mouth.
And what's your office in the city? Like, who operates out of there, and what is it? for?
nobody. We're all remote, so I
You're all
hired.
remote, okay.
Yeah, I basically hired based on talent,
Okay.
which is not always here, unfortunately. We do have a couple people in Chicago. We have one in Boston, one in Arizona, one in Tennessee. Difference of positions too. So some of them are account managers.
Yeah.
Some of them are ad specialists, technical specialists, website people. One of my good friends actually, who does like amazing websites, actually lives in Trinidad, and yeah, so we're all over the place.
Yeah.
So you've been independent for a year and a half, basically. Launched just about a year and a half ago. A year ago?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's September of last year actually.
Okay. What do you guys think you'll do this year, as far as your gross revenue?
This year,
Yeah.
I think probably like 300K, I think,
300,000?
something like that. Yeah, last year we were at 90. So
Okay.
That's
pretty good
sweet.
growth.
Hey, it's tripled in a year.
Yeah.
It's 300% growth.
Yeah, and I think that basically it's from me spending now my full time on it. Last
Okay.
year it was just, up until September, just kind of on the back end, just
Yeah.
like letting it sit there. I established a company. I had one client on there. Then in September I was like, all right, let's look for more. We landed a big client in December, and they're now with us, on a retainer for the rest of the year and hopefully for many years. And so that's just how it's been going. It's been going good. Next year hopefully we get $500,000 or more. That would be
Sweet.
nice.
Do you have a podcast?
I don't have a podcast. No.
You want one?
Maybe.
We'll sell you one.
Solid. Yeah, let's talk.
No, seriously, no. So we honestly, so a piece of the media company that we just launched, and I guess it's good to plug ourselves as well, but we've really put a significant amount of money, time, and energy. This is probably going to be the 270th episode.
Oh, nice.
You wouldn't see the metrics in it because it's just kind of that slow grow. I don't know if you watch any Alex Hormozy content. Significant amount of reps. You know what I mean? We've got some big guests that we've landed. I don't know how much you follow the entrepreneurial, kind of the more the sales realm. Your Wes Watsons, those coach guys, and Eric Spofford, who exited from a sober house company and real estate. But we put together a platform where essentially we launch podcasts. And there's two pieces to it. You come out, you use a studio, and we have editor and everything like that for you and recording. And essentially, there's two setups to it. There you got the $3,000 a month, and you have unlimited ability to come out and use the podcast. This is not us just bringing you out here to sell you this, but I'm just plugging it because I'm going to use it for content to just plug out there anyways. But what I tell all founders, creators, entrepreneurs, salespeople, people in general is if you're not building your brand, you're building somebody else's. And I don't care how good your product is. I don't care how good you are, how good your service is. You could have the best product knowledge when it comes to public relations and marketing and everything like that. If you aren't marketing your marketing, doesn't matter. Somebody's market. So some people out there that are in the same position as you that probably are dog shit and have a fraction of the intelligence you do, but they're doing 10 times that number in a month. You know what I mean? They just get a little more eyes than you do. A lot more eyes than you do. So our goal is to help people get more eyes. And that's not like an overnight promise, but like over time, we've got the connections. Dave's got just multi-hundred millionaires in his circle. We can throw bread. We can throw venture capitalism and consulting and just the podcast itself. Like people undervalue the podcast because everybody's got a podcast, but everybody should have a podcast because it's digital real estate. You know what I mean? And it's free. Like all it costs you is your time. You know what I mean? Which time is money and everything like that. So you people out there watching that, we'll cut this up for you and let you know you need to come out and we're going to work with you because it's not just a monthly subscription. You can come out. We got people right now. We've got a few individuals that come out and rock their own thing. It's $250 an hour, so that's sweet. And coaching people on setting up their own podcasts as well. So that's a quick plug, quick ad, self-ad. Back into the episode. Also, Nick is blowing me up. He's excited to see your method. Make sure you charge him for it.
Sure.
He was like, "What's the method to get the Google panel up?" I was like, "What the
guy
fuck?"
we just paid?
Yeah, you know what I mean. You should have the method. He's telling me he's saying basically the same thing as you. Like you have a good bit of press out there, and then they pull from that and everything like that. So I was like, "Nah." He said he can do it right now, regardless of press. So I don't know. Hopefully, you two compete and get it knocked out. Hurry up. So, choosing your enemies wisely. I want to lead into you graduate college. You were a bachelor's degree, so I would imagine 22 years old, 23 years old. You spent a couple years working for someone else.
Yeah.
Give the world an honest perspective of the highs and lows of answering to someone else, despite pursuing your dreams.
Yeah, I think the first job that I had, was, I mean, I took a super low ball offer, right? Because it was in downtown, because it was right on Michigan Ave. And that's usually how they get you. You know,
Yeah.
they're like, hey, oh, the location here, this was also pre-COVID, so everybody was out there.
Yeah, yeah.
Lunchtime is like, you know, all the business people are walking around. You get to see also all the tourists
Yeah.
and stuff down there. So literally every lunchtime it was just like, who can we meet outside? You know, I just go outside the office and like there's thousands of people. So that was like the selling point more so than the position, because the position was just like, I think, a marketing coordinator or something like that at an association, at like a real estate association. So what I can say, that was very much like more of like a corporate environment, right? Where it's like your cubicles, your office, you know, everything's pretty quiet there, you know, not a lot of banter going on and shit like that. So that felt terrible. I was like, man, I'm definitely not gonna stay here for more than like a year at tops. And again, I took that offer because it was like hard to find jobs, right? Even though I was only looking for like 3 months or something, right?
Yeah.
But I was like, I don't want to, kind of back to the point where it's like I want to prove everybody wrong that I can get a job, that I can do this with the degree that I got. That's kind of what made me like forced me into that decision, right?
Yeah.
So what I can say about the corporate environment is like it's comfortable, but I think that's exactly the enemy. Is like the comfortness, the complacency that you get at a place like that, where you're just like, this is enough, I make enough money, this is good, I'm fine, I don't need anything else. That's what kind of like suppresses your entrepreneurial.
That's what they call a job. Job is just over broke.
Just over broke.
Yeah,
and a job is what they sell you
Mhm.
to not pursue your dreams, cut
Exactly.
the wings off your dreams. So,
Yeah.
you know, but when you were exiting, was it smooth or was it like, oh, no, you're a piece of shit, dude. Why are you leaving the company?
No, for sure, it was easy.
It was easy, smooth, no issues.
Yeah, they, you know, especially in an environment like that, they just see people. It's like a revolving door. You
Yeah, they know it's an opportunity
they're like,
to
all right,
get somebody
someone
else with a
will
low
come.
ball because
Yep.
if you stay here too long, we got to pay you more.
Yep, exactly.
Right?
And I was
Thank
already
God you
asking
wanna
for
leave.
raises because
Yeah.
I was like always the type of employee to go above and beyond, right?
Yeah.
Just like, let me throw out a suggestion. And this was even before I ran like Google Ads or any like advertising at all.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, there's an opportunity here for getting more people to see
Yeah.
what we're selling, the courses that we're doing. And obviously through the corporate ladder, it just gets lost. You know?
How good are you? You know what I mean? Can you
Pretty fucking
like can
good.
you get like because my goal here is like to use you. That's why I told him. I said, listen, because I wanted to do business with him. And I was like, I need to test it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need you to give me the whole Lamborghini for free, but let me take it out for a spin before I buy it. You know what I mean? Because that's what I look. I look at like when I buy stuff, I want it to be a Lamborghini. I don't want it to be a Honda. So like, if you've got a Lamborghini product and service, we launched this episode. What can you do to like show people like, hey, I'm gonna drive views or I'm gonna drive like, what are you gonna like? What can you do? Because you're marketing. So like, this launch is what is your plan to like prove to me that you're worth investing in?
This platform itself is on YouTube, right? So
Yeah.
basically,
Well, it's on every platform.
It's on every
So,
platform.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you want it to grow it, then you just advertise for it, right?
Yeah.
But what we were talking about before with the press releases and stuff, that's a different.
It's different.
Scope, which is
Yeah.
the SEO,
Okay.
side, which is the getting you on top of the Google search
Yeah.
results. Anytime somebody looks up not only your name but a general keyword like, you know, life insurance in Chicago, life insurance in Hoffman Estates, whatever, we can target that and then have those results show up basically all on the first page.
Yeah.
The ultimate goal is to have your page be on the first page.
Yeah.
But because we leverage these
We
news
care about the
outlets,
media more.
so it's people talking about you.
Yeah.
And that sometimes does a little bit more because, again, they don't know your brand yet. They don't know your name. So they just Google, like, I know I need life insurance.
Yeah.
I don't know where, from who, but I'm going to Google this. And then they see the first, 10 results on the first page, all talking about
Yeah.
AIL.
No, we care about the media page more, AK Media, more than life insurance. Life insurance is just like my
AK
old
Media,
money,
okay.
my old man money. You know what I
right.
mean? But the AK Media, so like my goal here, we launched this, it'll launch in probably a week, is I want this thing for you to show me, get some attention. You know what I mean? Like Patrick David, I was talking to his, Patrick David?
Yeah.
So I was talking to one of his top sales reps, whatever. Phenomenal system these people have. You blow up a name and then you got people that want to just sell your name. You know what I mean? Though I don't know what these people are getting paid, but I need to get there. You know what I mean? So, but I was talking to her and she was like, hey, listen, we're going to do a podcast with you, but you have to sell the most tickets to his Vault event. And here's your sales affiliate link's going to come out. And I'm like, this is a genius idea. Is you build something with value and you keep adding value to it. And then you put in an affiliation process. And that's kind of like another piece with the podcast is like, yeah, I want to do business with you, but show me, you know what I mean? So I'm excited because I know you're going to do something special. And those of you out there watching is like, there's two things in my mind right now. If you're a founder, especially in the Chicagoland area, and you're not marketing yourself, and you don't have an affiliate opportunity, you need to reach out because we want to set you up a podcast. We can do consulting or we can set you up the full podcast setup, but we can also do the affiliate program. We've got things that you're going to be able to make money off of, improve your value, because we usually charge now for the podcast. I just liked you and I was like, you know what, I'm going to do business. But I should have just asked for money because then we just break even. You know, it's $500 for the Google panel. Well, heck, cool. It's $3,000 to get on here. So, and some people are like, oh, that's crazy. But I wired Andy Elliott $50,000 to get on his podcast, and I don't look at him as like Jeff Bezos. You know what I mean? But like, it is what it is. This world, the market is not going to argue what you're worth. So I think that's a huge thing. Just with value in general. But I love it all, dude. If you're not marketing yourself, you're marketing somebody else. And you deserve and you should market yourself, and you should fail every single day through reps of like, what can I do better to get more attention? The person with the most attention, doesn't matter. You can sell dog poo. You know what I mean? You're going to make the most. You know? It's huge.
Most startups like yours, you just don't really have the resources and you don't really have the bandwidth, nor do you have a platform to really promote your deal. Like you guys are doing 300,000, and can you scale to 500,000? Can you scale to $1 million in the next 24 months? Likely, but what if you can sync up and collab with the right people that can expedite that process in half the time? Because business is speed. Speed is business.
And I promise we did not plan on like going hardcore selling you. We really are just creating content.
No, we're just talking about the different verticals.
Yeah, we got some crazy stuff. Crazy stuff going on right now, dude. I think the next area I wanted, as we start to capitalize on the transition into finalizing this, is what's the vision for the next 5 years? What's your next 5 moves? Because I hate to even like use time as a even a measurement system of your success. Like, what's your next 5 moves, bro?
Next 5 moves. So I think at the beginning of the year we had this kind of plan that was to properly scale, to probably set up the business to be able to scale properly. Which it started with the fulfillment side, right? Like
you just gave me an idea. I'm texting to Dan. Keep giving it to me, though.
I had this idea that, as we get more clients, there's no time, not enough time in the day for me to supply.
So you got to be able to deliver.
Yeah. So first off, it was getting people who knew ads, who knew emails, who knew SEO, writing, design, and all that stuff. And so thankfully, the first 3-4 months of the year, we built out the team, and now the fulfillment side is all good to go. So I'm very comfortable with that side. The next one is the sales team. So and I just met with a couple guys just these past few weeks that I think will be a good fit. That are down to kind of like do the kind of like the legwork for finding leads, and obviously we'll put some ad dollars behind them as well, so they can get some warmer leads and work those. And then really after that is, outside of scaling those 2 businesses, I would really want to go for the bigger clients. We don't shy away from the small and the SMB side, because that's always fairly easy, and it feels really good when you grow those businesses, because it's like a small mom and pop shop. They can't spend too much money. We don't want to turn them away. So we can do, all right, we'll do your ads for cheap. We'll do your emails for no problem. But our sweet spot for the main 3 clients that we have are much bigger businesses. So they have the funds to invest in the marketing, and they're bought into the marketing already, because that's one of the biggest objectives, is if somebody's not bought into how marketing works and like what they're going to do with the marketing, convincing them to first buy into it and then having the sale come after, that's the hardest thing. So once you have a client that is, again, I'm going to use let's say Pepsi or McDonald's or something, obviously they know marketing is working for them. But a smaller business that it might not be a SMB, but it could be like somebody's making 50 mil a year, right, in sales, and you know, maybe like half of that is profit. So they're doing very well, but they still somehow just like overlook the market. It's like, I don't want to. It's too much money. It's too expensive, whatever. But I always tell this. It's like it's literally free because you get all that back.
Yeah.
The ROIs are 4, 5, 6 times on online advertising. If you're doing email marketing, that's like the highest ROI has like 13, 14 times ROI. Because that list you don't pay again for the list, right? And it's like $300 for
I delete emails.
You delete emails? But it works.
Yeah.
You know, it still works, especially for like e-commerce businesses or
so like, could I sell like, what would sell better? Me trying to recruit people for my insurance sales company, or me trying to get people to buy like podcast, consulting, media packages? What would sell better through email? I feel like more people would want podcasts. You know what I mean? Because people's egos are so big.
Depends on your audience.
I feel like every audience. What do you care? Like, what do you care about? I care about looking important. People want to feel important, but not everybody has the money for that, though.
Yeah,
You know what I mean, but not everybody wants to get into sales, though. I feel like a larger percentage of people would be interested in, like, oh, I could set up my own podcast and someone's going to teach me how to do it.
We're talking about two different audiences here because your recruiting side for the insurance is like young, hungry individuals.
And those people aren't like, I know young people, emails, maybe.
They'll get around.
Yeah.
Because everybody checks their emails.
Yeah,
right?
I guess.
You might delete them, but you saw it.
I guess the real thing is just do both. So what would it cost? $300?
No, that's your cost. That's your cost
to buy the list.
No, to do to buy Constant Contact, like your MailChimp.
Yeah.
account
So if
that much.
so what do I need to do? Buy a mail list? Like, walk me through this. So I want to email a bunch of people.
Ideally, you're not buying lists.
Yeah, it's free because of their ROI. But walk me through it though. Like I want to blast out emails now on a monthly basis.
Yeah, so you want to have, then that's a monthly newsletter. So that service is tailoring the content to that audience. Ideally, we're going to segment that list out. So
how long does it take to set this up?
Do you have the list already?
Of the people? How do I get the list? I don't have a list. Like, what do you mean a list?
A list of emails.
We got to build a list.
So how do I?
We can talk off camera. We got to do, because that's what we got to do next.
So I can
because if you ever notice, PBD does it and my lab does it. Because
give me their list. Like, how do I get a list?
That's interesting you said that, because there is value in having a list of email, believe it or not.
Data is value. Yeah.
Hermosi talks about that. Like,
let's start building an email list.
We have to.
It's almost like our POS.
You need to help us build an email. Can you help us build an email list?
For sure, yeah. That's the first step.
All right, then
Thank
we just
God.
Exactly.
I'm
That's the
surprised.
value right there.
We always buy shit. Can you buy something? We're always buying. I'm always buying something. Can't stand me.
I'm surprised that with your insurance side.
I'm surprised too.
Because,
the podcast is over.
that's how you, you're probably buying
I'm
other
buying
people's
everything,
emails, right?
bro.
So,
Everything's been bought.
exactly. You just want to have like a clean list. That's why if you're buying a leads list, that's like, oh, here's 1,000 people who are in the operations
I believe
industry.
we can organically generate this
For sure.
because we come across a lot.
Yeah.
We just got to start capturing emails. So listen, we're going to put you on our email list, and we'll, you know what I'm saying, we'll let you know when we're doing something special, when we're, announcements, whatever.
Yeah. Because it's a mix of the email strategy. A lot of times it's either a monthly email or a weekly email newsletter.
Yeah.
And then sporadically you have your email flows. That's like, all right, now we're across these next 6 weeks, we're running a campaign.
Yeah.
Let's say for the podcast, like we're introducing get in now and within these next 6 weeks and get a 15%.
We can announce, hey,
discount or something.
podcast dropping on Friday. Make sure you tune
sure.
in.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Oh God, you guys are getting. I promise I'm not disrespectfully just texting. I'm getting ideas here. So
that's one of the things that we're working on because we can't quite announce it yet, but we're going to be merging. We're going to be merging our platforms with a company called Fuel, and Fuel has funded a bunch of different deals, and that's a buddy of mine's company. And so from that, we're going to spin off a few different verticals. We got some exciting things coming, so you're going to want to work. You know what I'm saying, with us.
Happy to be part of it.
Yeah.
Very nice.
sweet, man. So, what do you got a favorite movie? Some people don't like movies. I love movies. If you don't like it,
I
you're
love
weird.
the movie Fury. Fury is my favorite movie.
Fury?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brother, send me. Are you fucking kidding me?
It's my favorite movie
That's
ever,
my
Yeah.
one of my 100 favorite movies.
bro.
I swear to God, I have a list. It's almost 100. I swear that is it. Do you like Troy?
Yeah. I like Troy.
Yeah, bro. Like when Brad Pitt is in that like war mode, bro,
Yeah.
he's a dog.
I like
Absolute
Shia,
killer.
honestly, too.
Shia LaBeouf,
Shia
dude.
LaBeouf
In
is
that
amazing.
scene, are you spiritual at all? Like faith? You have to be a little bit. You know what I mean?
Somewhat.
A little bit.
God doesn't visit Rockford, you know?
Yeah, bro. But hey,
yeah.
listen. You know, you got to listen to the podcast I did with Eric Spofford. He exited from the Sober House company for like 115 million. And like, I don't know how spiritual you are, how spiritual you're not, whatever you believe in. But listen, he said when you're in the foxhole, because this dude was a drug addict and in an absolute hole, like basically an atheist before this. He's like, when you're in the hole, dog, like way more than like just financially. Like, have you ever been like rock bottom? Like being broke don't count. Everyone's been broke. I'm talking about rock bottom, heartbroken, like just considering like darkness, bro. Hard to be an atheist. You know what I mean? When it's just you in that hole, bro, and you're just praying. You're just praying. You're just throwing words out there. Like, hey, if there's anybody out there, please help, man, because I'm down. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's powerful because like you really can't be a true entrepreneur if you don't go through seasons of like, bro, I'm take the wheel. Lord, send me, dog. You know what I mean? Like that Fury scene where it's like all the Nazis around that tank and it's like, dog, we're going to die.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But we're going to die on our feet, not on our knees. So that's it. We got to play the scene.
Well, that's
dude.
how powerful spirituality is because if you heard it, like Shia LaBeouf was like,
Yes.
I think
he was like a full atheist and like converted to like a monk.
yeah, just from that movie, he converted
Yeah,
to
he went to like
Christianity.
Christianity. Like, dude, I'm gonna send this to the guys right now, just as a reminder, bro. That is my thing right there, dude. I haven't had. You're the first guest out of almost 300 guests that has said an actual smart thing when it comes to a movie.
Appreciate that.
There's Bible verse
This is the hardest, bro.
I think about sometimes.
I'm telling the media guy to make a clip for me on this.
Many times.
Shy is a dog.
It goes. Then I heard the voice of the Lord saying, "Whom shall I send? And who will go for us?"
Yeah, that's
And I said, "Here am I. Send me."
Bro, it's one of the hardest movie scenes in the world. In the absolute world, dude.
Agreed.
Moving. Sharing that's with my coaching group too. So I also run. You do any coaching? You should do it. I know you're probably maybe you're not generating the results that you want yet, but I promise you, there's some young man, some young woman, some old man, old woman getting into what you're getting into, a space like you're getting into that needs encouragement and can set aside, even if you set up a school for free, and you can say, listen, you know what I mean? Start free. It's going to move to a couple dollars a day, whatever it might be. But like they need that encouragement and you have value. You know what I mean? If you spent 10 years, like you're telling me, on developing a legitimate skill set, you know what I mean? Not just some hoorah, like like not the motivational, just hoorah. Like you have a legitimate skill set, you should be monetizing on it. Then you take your profits and you dump it back into growing your business and it works hand in hand and you're building up more marketing for yourself as well. Because people are like, hey, I learned this from this guy. And then you're almost developing sales affiliates as well. You know, there's bro, you got to set up a school. You don't have a school?
No, not yet.
You have to set up a school.
Gotta tell your
You know
story,
school? You know school? The little app, the coaching app?
Do I know school?
I mean, obviously you probably don't know like the founder or anything like that, but like the app, school.
SKO.
Yeah. You know it?
I've heard of it. Yeah. I've
Bro,
never
you
used
got to
it.
check into it. I honestly don't even go into it, but I've got a team that runs it for me. And it's incredible. It's, you know
You
what I
just
mean?
put courses on there? Or
Yeah, you just put like, you know, shit, whatever they put in there. I don't know. They just copy my shit from other groups and put it in there.
Okay.
It's like my lowest level tier of like coaching. I got some, honestly, in the grand scheme of things, I think the coaching's bringing me maybe like 5 to 8% of like just the general gross revenue. Everything's coming from the insurance right now, but the goal is to reverse that into more freedom, into the coaching, into the media and everything like
look
that.
into
So
it.
dope,
Cool.
dude. What's the plan for the rest of the day?
Today I got a couple lead calls actually, thankfully. We're working on a deal. Hopefully it comes through. Should be a big one.
Yeah.
I can't talk about it too much, but
Yeah.
it's I got to go to Hoffman after this.
Let's go.
Meet up with the guy.
Let's go. Anything else, Dave?
No, man. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for
Thank you.
coming
Appreciate
on.
getting to know you.
Appreciate it.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're excited to see if you SEO this podcast or whatever.
Yeah.
Let's go.
bump it
All
up.
right. Another episode of Varsity Kings. Where can they follow, find you? Where do you want them to go?
Website is wgaglobal.com.
WG,
WGA Global.
WGAglobal.com.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else? That's it?
Just that for now.
All right, let's go. Peace out, Adversity Kings.